What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mayo Show, where today we will be breaking down some NFL hot topics. First off, we're going to be talking about where will Julio Jones land in 2021. What do you guys think?
Ooh, a nice topic to start out with. There's been some speculation about obviously the Titans, the Patriots, the Ravens. I think also the Green Bay Packers could be a smart move. If they feel that the need to, if Aaron Rodgers if they have talks and they say, what if we get Julio? Would you stay? Would you?
Yeah,
I think they could do that. I think it all just depends on the salary. I feel like teams like the Niners could also get him.
I was going to say if the Packers traded for Julio and Aaron Rodgers still left, like say they gave up a first round pick and then Aaron Rodgers leaves, that would just be the absolute worst scenario for the Packers. So
they would also waste money.
Yeah, they would need to know that it would be a done deal that Aaron Rodgers would be staying in Green Bay.
Which, to be honest, I don't see, as a Pats fan, I don't see the Falcons. What is it? Like, they're talking about Jarrett Stidham and, like, a second-round pick. Jarrett Stidham stinks. He's not the future, obviously. Second-round pick is not that much value for a guy like Julio Jones, who has, like, first-round offers. I don't really see the Ravens making the move either. I'm pretty sure they don't have enough cap space, really. They got to take a hit.
Yeah, and they just drafted 2 receivers in the draft.
Exactly. But obviously, if you're Lamar Jackson, you would rather have Julio Jones.
They still have room for a wide receiver one.
Yeah, and also if you think about it, Rashad Bateman's kind of like similar play style as Julio, so he could teach him his ways, kind of.
Yeah, I definitely think the Titans one is probably the best deal, but the San Francisco deal is like I wouldn't say the smart deal, but it's like the simple deal really for both teams. But I find both interesting. Obviously Julio, I think he's definitely leaving for sure. Like, I don't think there's a possibility. Obviously there is, but I don't think there's a possibility that he stays. To be honest, I see him leaving after the season. I don't think it's the Pats, unfortunately, and I don't really care where he ends up after there. But it's gonna be really entertaining to watch wherever he lands.
I think the Colts are actually the best landing spot in my opinion for Julio in terms of him, because he said he wants to win, and I think the Colts with him are a top 5 team in the NFL. I don't know if that's bold. And I think the Colts also would improve the most, or one of the most, out of all the contenders for getting Julio, because that's all they're missing pretty much. If you had Julio Jones to a team that already has an elite running game and an elite defense, that team could honestly be a Super Bowl contender. I know it's kind of hard to think of Carson Wentz leading the team to a Super Bowl, but he already led the Eagles to the one seed in the NFC. So he
not the Super Bowl that.
What was that?
It's not the same Carson Wentz though, is it?
Hey, we don't know because now he has the same offensive coordinator he had.
True, and his coach did say that it's a restart for Carson Wentz in Indianapolis. So who knows?
It seems like he's enjoying Indianapolis a lot more than he did his final year at Philly.
Yeah,
well, I just playing basketball because he rode the bench.
Well, I mean before, Philadelphia is a pretty harsh place, and when they drafted Jalen Hurts, with that quarterback competition, it took a hit on Carson Wentz. So now, he's the guy there in Indianapolis. I feel like that boosts confidence that they were willing to trade a first round pick to get him. So I think the trust is there.
See, I don't think the Pats have enough to give up for Julio, but I also feel like it doesn't make sense to them because obviously you would want one of the best receivers in the league, but Julio is not always healthy, as we know. Last season he had a lot of injuries, and he's old now, 32 years old, 33, I don't know. But he's getting older. If you're a rebuild team like the Pats are right now, not a rebuild team. I don't want to say they rebuilt him.
I think they're
winning the division. Yeah, I think they're winning the division, but I just don't see it make sense for a guy to go there. I feel like he would go to a place like you said, Shane, where he wants to win a Super Bowl, like the Niners or the Colts, where they have already pretty great teams around them and they can just add better receivers and they look amazing. So I just feel like those make the most sense.
I don't think Julio Jones would fit well with Cam Newton's play style because Cam Newton can't really throw a ball that well, to be honest. And Julio Jones is a guy who has a lot of downfield routes, and he kind of needs a quarterback with better arm strength than what Cam Newton has to offer. So I don't think that duo would be too
Wait, what was
amazing.
that whole thing with Matt Ryan, like that he would rather play for Cam Newton? Did you guys hear about that too?
I
Or
didn't see
maybe
that.
Wait,
or maybe
what?
or something
What
about
is it?
like Matt Ryan's like arm strength like decreasing or something.
Yeah, but surely Matt Ryan's arm strength isn't as bad as Cam Newton's
Yeah,
is
no,
now.
for sure. That's what I was thinking, but like
That must have been an exaggeration.
I swear I heard that somewhere, but never mind. Yeah. Also, we've heard those comments from like Derrick Henry and people surrounding the Titans, like AJ Brown, that they want him there, and
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think they're a contender to get him.
I think they're in a huge contender.
Do you guys think that would be the right move for the Titans? Do you think it would?
Yeah, I
Do you
think
think
adding
do you think that would
Julio.
win them the division?
Adding Julio to any team makes them a lot better. Doesn't mean they'll win the division though. They have a tough
It'd be
division.
close.
Yeah,
Right
I
now, I
agree.
think I have the Colts winning that division, but
Yeah.
I still have it close right now, so that might boost the Titans over the Colts for that division. But like I could see Julio Jones saying like, "Oh, AJ Brown is too much of a fanboy," and not going there. Like,
Ooh,
because that seems like it could be annoying. Like AJ Brown is a really really big
Yeah.
fan.
Did you guys see
I
that
feel like
video where he like wore a
Yeah,
like a
I feel like it's kind of you can look at the other side. Maybe Julio's like, oh my god, this top 15 really young guy who like is actually good right now, like admires me like
that
as his hero. That could be like a good side of it where he's like, oh my god, I've done this in my career. Let me come teach him so that he can be the next me.
it would be really cool to like see that development if Julio went to Tennessee
For
and
sure.
like say AJ Brown turned out to be like a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Like it'd be really cool to see the similarities in
Yeah.
their game, like what Julio taught him.
no,
AJ
for
Brown's
sure.
already a beast, so learning from a king like Julio, it's just gonna keep getting better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really know if it would totally be the right move for the Titans. I mean, obviously, any team could use a superstar like Julio, probably a top 10 receiver of all time. But but looking at the Titans defense, I think they really need to get that better if they want to beat the Colts in the division. Um, so I don't know if they should be wasting that much money on Julio right now. I wouldn't be mad if they did, but I just think that they should focus on defense right now. Unless
Yeah, I
Dude,
mean,
Julio.
to be honest, tell me this receiving core and Derrick Henry doesn't like. So they have obviously if this happens, they would have Julio Jones, AJ Brown, and Josh Reynolds as their three receivers. And that's that. I didn't even know Josh Reynolds like went to the Titans, but that would be really interesting. Those three guys like in contention in the playoffs. Derrick Henry in that run game. They lost Johnny Smith, which is kind of a huge part of their offense, surprisingly. But I think that offense looks pretty stacked. I would take my bets as getting Julio instead of focusing on defense right now.
I think Corey Davis sounds a lot scarier than Josh Reynolds if we're talking about
True,
a wide
but
receiver core.
I think Corey Davis was the second guy last year, right? So that would just be
Yeah.
replaced by Julio Jones. So I would say Julio Jones is a lot scarier than Corey Davis.
So, I mean, they could say, well, right now, I guess you said Josh Reynolds as their wide receiver 2.
Wide receiver 3,
that's
yeah.
it's kind of alarming. So maybe they want to add a wide receiver, whether it be Julio or not. So Julio could be that guy that they want to add. But yeah, Joey made a good point that the Titans defense definitely took a big hit from last year, and that should be their number one focus. It's just when you have a guy like Julio Jones on the trading block, he's kind of an exception, in my opinion.
What do you guys think about the Broncos? Because like obviously they were thinking about they might still want Aaron Rodgers, and they're waiting for
If they get Aaron Rodgers, that's the only way that that Julio
yeah.
would want to go there.
To be
for
honest,
sure. That could be like a double deal kind of thing.
that'd be crazy. But I like obviously Julio going to any team is amazing for that team because it's Julio. But like they got a young receiving core. They're obviously not going to win that much this year. Julio's old. Maybe Julio teaches, but like Cortland Sutton's coming back this year. I presume he'll be the number one guy there, right? Back to what he did like 2 years ago. He's really good. Jerry Judy's developing. Maybe that's what Julio comes in to do, though, help these guys develop, but who knows? KJ Hamler's on that team, I think. Tim Patrick was good last year. They're both cheap. I think that maybe they don't need a guy like Julio Jones right now. But if you brought in Rodgers, that kind of changes things.
Yeah, that'd be a really cool duo to watch. Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones, one of Aaron Rodgers' like best, or definitely his most talented receiver. And I wouldn't say talented. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know which one I would like more, Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams or Aaron Rodgers to Julio.
It'd just be cool to see like that much of an athletic freak going up and catching Aaron Rodgers 60-yard bombs downfield.
That's true.
By the way, about the whole Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay thing, it's totally like even if they said they would get Julio, I don't know if that would make Aaron Rodgers stay because it's not even about the team, it's about
the team is
front
stacked.
office and
Yeah.
all that stuff. What do you guys think about some other teams that people have been talking about? Specifically, the Los Angeles Chargers were among one of the teams listed in Jeff Schultz's recent report on Julio Jones. What do you guys think about him going there?
That would be
That'd be so crazy.
I think the Chargers, if they got Julio Jones, would be such a fun team to watch. They are going to be such a fun team to watch because they have, Justin Herbert, who's one of the most exciting young talents in the NFL.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
Keenan Allen, who is a top 5 route runner in the NFL. Then adding Julio Jones and
Mike Williams
on the
Jalen
outside.
Guyton,
That team would be so fun to watch.
Austin
him
Eckler.
and Keenan Allen would be really fun to watch. That'd be like imagine guarding both of those.
Yeah,
That would be so
you have to
unfair.
put your
You can't.
cornerback 2 on Keenan Allen, who is a top 5 route runner in the
Yeah,
NFL. Like,
it's top 5 route runner plus like a huge deep threat like in Julio Jones.
Both
and then
veteran
Mike
guys.
Williams is just going to be making plays on the outside.
You can't like you literally cannot guard that. There's no way. There's no way they can guard that.
That'd be crazy. What about the Niners? You guys
Like I
think
said.
he has a chance? You think he might go there?
I think they have a chance. I think the Niners have a really smart front office though, so I don't think they're going to give up. They're not going to overpay for sure. Like I don't see the Niners offering a first round pick even. But if they were able to pull off a deal, I think that would push the Niners to that next level as far as contention. I already think that they're borderline contenders, but that would put them into the bona fide contenders like category for me.
I think that any team that is going to get Julio has to give up a first round pick, and I agree with Shane that they wouldn't give up a first round pick, but I do think that a team that is willing to give up a first round pick can get Julio.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really whoever, like, I think Julio's happy with all these teams that are making offers for him. Whoever gives up the most. And at the moment, it doesn't seem like the Patriots. It doesn't seem like these other teams we mentioned, but it could be any of them who just decides to go out and get him.
I would not be surprised if Belichick got Julio Jones. Like, at this point, I feel like they could definitely be a team that star chases, and they're just trying to win right now, and Bill Belichick has got to be pissed.
I feel like that's so uncharacteristic, though, of Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick would have so much fun with Julio Jones. Like,
For
think
sure.
about what he's been able to do with Julian Edelman and, like, Chris Hogan and all these, like, untalented receivers. Think about when he had Randy Moss. Randy Moss broke the record for touchdowns in a season by a wide receiver. Like, that's what Bill Belichick has done when he's got.
The only thing I would say is I just don't see, like, Bill's already had a very successful offseason. By his standards, a lot of people coming in, by anyone's standards, really, but, like, especially Bill doesn't like to do too much free agents work on big guys, but, like, to bring in Julio would be massive for the team, and they could, like, really elevate them. And I think, especially if Matt Jones ends up taking the starting role a couple weeks in, that's a huge confidence booster when you got one of the best, like, receivers in the NFL next to you. You can always look to rely to.
Yeah. Shane, did you just say Julian Edelman is an untalented receiver?
Yes.
That's disrespectful,
Hey,
man.
don't
That's
be
so
No, wait,
disrespectful.
I didn't say untalented. I
You
said
said
he wasn't.
untalented. You said
No, I
untalented.
didn't. Untalented never came out of my mouth. You can rewind.
You said untalented
I'm
receivers
not
about
saying
Chris
Julian.
Hogan.
I'm
What
saying compared to other NFL like star receivers, yes, they are not. Okay,
Yeah,
not talent. Talent's the wrong
he
word.
doesn't have the build that they do.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
athletic.
He's a
Athletic. Like,
scrawny white 5'7"
and I'm just saying,
and
look at what Bill Belichick is.
quarterback.
Look at what the production Bill Belichick has been able to like give to those guys. Put in Julio Jones, he's breaking a record.
True.
All right.
If he stays healthy.
And I think if the Patriots get Julio Jones, they are
Or
my
winning the
favorites
division.
for the AFC East. Yeah.
All right.
They're my favorites for the whole playoffs.
Hey,
Whole
but you
take.
do remember those catches in the Super Bowl, right?
Clutch
Against the
catches, by the way.
Falcons, the bobble one or whatever. That was insane
That's talent. That wasn't Bill Belichick. That was talent.
for sure. Going back to when I was talking about Aaron Rodgers and like the front office and stuff, I want to know what you guys think about like QBs feeling the need to like take over the league, kind of, and they want to have full control over what happens in the front office. Like obviously Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, all the stuff that's been going on about how they feel like they're not listening to them and they feel they need full control. What do you guys think?
Yeah. It's an interesting topic because I kind of feel like it's depending on the situation. So obviously, when the guys are so talented, they do feel the need to like, no hate to these guys, but to own what they think they've earned. Example, Ben Roethlisberger likes to go on radio shows and talk about how bad his team played and how he's a leader, so he deserves to talk bad about them, which I don't believe is at all true and disrespectful. But like, in general, like I think they do deserve a right to have like a say in what's going on in this team. Aaron Rodgers is obviously unhappy there for some reason. We obviously don't know what it is, but something has put him to the point where this super team where he's playing at the best time of his career, he's winning MVP, and yet he wants to trade out. It definitely seems like something's going up there that we just don't know about.
Alex, but Aaron Rodgers was upset before this season that he had a great year.
But that's even the point that he just hasn't been happy.
When they drafted
continuously.
Bryce Love was when it started. Or
And
not
No,
Bryce Love.
Aaron Rodgers said that drafting Jordan Love was not at all what made him angered. He actually said that him and Jordan Love have built a really strong connection.
Well, no, but at the time,
I don't believe. Yeah, I feel like
and they didn't let him.
They didn't tell him. They didn't tell
Yeah,
him. That's what I think.
exactly.
The fact that he's being like not told by his own executives that he's given so much to the team that they're not even telling him that they're drafting a maybe future replacement. He might feel disrespected.
It's trust, and it's.
I get that, but I'm just saying it wasn't like him and Jordan Love have
Oh no, it's
heads or
not, nothing
anything.
against
It's just
Jordan
trust,
Love.
yeah.
It's the executives that are making these decisions without telling him.
Yeah.
And he feels disrespected by it.
Yeah, I feel like people like him deserve to know what's going on, and he deserves to like have a say in maybe what happens. I don't think that QBs should decide who gets drafted because I think that's very dumb, and the organization should be smart enough to draft who they think is good.
Sure.
But I do think that there's a trust thing with NFL teams, and just communication. It's so much more than football. Like it has to be off the field too for success. That's what people don't see, is that like in order for a championship team, people have to get along, and you're like Bruce Arians. Tom Brady doesn't even fit his play style, but he changed his whole thing and was fine
So he
with
could
it.
win a Super Bowl.
And they won the Super Bowl together,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah, I think it's a big difference between having trust, which is obviously what we're talking about, just having trust with each other and executives and working together, and like demanding just full power, like certain guys tend to do in the NFL when they become really good. Like again, not hating Ben Roethlisberger, but Ben Roethlisberger thinks he has the like right to criticize his own teammates, which caused Antonio Brown to leave. Criticize his own teammates on a radio show, which I don't think he does. Like it should be a thing where you tell them face to face what they're doing wrong, or tell them face to face what's going on. And that's where I think the line is crossed, where there's a difference between I should have a say between like I have all the say.
Yeah, definitely getting a little inspiration.
Thank you for watching the Mayo Show on YouTube. For more content like this, subscribe and turn on notifications.